Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for December 27, 2023, 50-year-old fatally stabs man flees Jamaica, held and deported on Christmas. 5 years after 31-year-old Tomola Thomas was stabbed to death at Upper Oxford Street, Kingston 14, a 50-year-old man of the same address has been charged with his murder. He is Omar Burford, otherwise called Guns and Gunners. The police said Burford was arrested overseas and deported on December 21. He was handed over to local law enforcers and charged with murder on Christmas Day. Reports from the Denham Town Police are that in September 2018, Thomas and Burford were at their Upper Oxford Street address when an argument developed between them. The argument reportedly escalated and became physical. During the tussle, a knife was used to inflict multiple stab wounds to Thomas's head and neck. Thomas was assisted to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Burford was arrested overseas and deported to Jamaica last week. A court date has not yet been finalized for the accused. Road crashes claim 5 lives in 72 hours. The police are appealing to motorists to be more responsible on the nation's roads after 5 people died in crashes over 72 hours. In the appeal on Boxing Day, Assistant Commissioner of Police Gary McKenzie disclosed the figure and shared that law enforcers have noticed that a number of drivers are driving under the influence of alcohol. A number of drivers have been tested and have proven to be driving with excess alcohol on their breath, he said. We have also noticed that persons are driving and are not keeping in their lane, meaning that they are not driving to the left of the road, are driving to the right, and in some instances, it has resulted in traffic crashes, McKenzie said. The senior policeman reminded motorists that it's important that as Jamaicans go through the holiday season towards the end of the year, that we are very careful on the roadways. It is very important that as we enjoy ourselves throughout this season, that we are mindful that we have to take personal responsibility. We must ensure that we drive according to the rules of the road. The police are out there in their numbers, and we are trying our best to ensure that we are visible, to ensure that we occupy highways, main roads and the townships, to ensure that persons travel from one place to another safely, he said. He added, however, that it is senseless for motorists to speed up once they have gone through a police checkpoint. This spells a danger, he said. The ACP added, we want to encourage persons as well. If you are very tired after going to entertainment events, please try and stop at a police station, get some rest before we move along. We can't afford to lose any more persons before the end of this year, so please drive carefully, he begged. Chang lamented death of young police constable, notes JCF's efforts to get her on liver transplant list. Describing the death of 26-year-old policewoman Donika Anderson as a tragic loss, National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang has promised that the state, through the Jamaica Constabulary Force, will take steps to provide more than the usual assistance to the family of a fallen colleague. Anderson died on Christmas Eve at the University Hospital of the West Indies, where she was being treated for liver disease. The policewoman, whose plight came to national attention earlier this year, was hailed by Chang for making her mark despite her relatively short 5 years in the police force. She was a brilliant young officer, a fighter, he told the news. Last May, the Jamaica Police Federation sent Anderson to the United States with the understanding that arrangements had been made for her to see a doctor at a Bellevue Hospital in Manhattan about her condition. Her mother, Jem Donald, told the news at the time, however, that 3 days after her arrival, there had been no update on the plans and that, with Anderson's condition worsening, they were advised to return to Jamaica as it was proving difficult to get the Jamaican on the liver transplant list in the U.S. Among the hurdles faced by Anderson in the U.S. were her lack of insurance and her legal status in the country. Yesterday, Chang noted that liver disease and a liver transplant were not common occurrences, and it was difficult to assess the assistance that was needed. He said, however, that efforts were being made to assist Anderson when she died. Liver transplant is an expensive process and a long process, especially to get on the transplant list, but the JCF tried to assist, he told the news, countering an ongoing narrative on social media accusing the police hierarchy and the state of failing the young policewoman. Anderson's funeral has been set for January 20 in Trelawney. Donald said her daughter's body was expected to be released today and will be transported to a funeral home in Trelawney. Sergeant Wayne Wallace, a community officer for Trelawney, based in Falmouth, told the news he has been with the family and the grief counseling is being provided. Donique's death is a blow to all of us. Those who knew her and those who knew of her are all affected by her death. Her death has affected the entire police force and indeed the entire country, he said. Wallace commended the members of the diaspora for the assistance they provided to Anderson and her mother while they were in the U.S. The diaspora, especially the Northeast, was very instrumental in helping her, he said. Since Anderson's return to the island, she had been in and out of hospital until her death. Alcyon Wilson, Jamaica's consul general to New York, who was instrumental in getting Anderson treated at Harlem Hospital during her stay in New York, expressed sorrow at the passing of the young constable, whom she referred to as a beacon of strength and dedication to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Said the Consul General, her unwavering resilience amid health challenges was a testament to her indomitable spirit. Anderson, who was the sole woman in her 2019 graduating batch of 196 constables and who topped the group with the high scores, had been carving a distinguished path in her career. Despite her illness, she served first at the Fort Pastor police station and later in other sections of Clarendon. NEPA says a Christmas Eve fish kill in St. Catherine contained. The National Environment and Planning Agency is reporting that a small fish kill that occurred in a section of the Rio Cobra in St. Catherine on Sunday is now contained. In a statement on Tuesday, NEPA said in investigating the incident, in which approximately 50 fish were seen floating on the river on Christmas morning, it was discovered that the pollution was due to a malfunctioning National Water Commission sewage treatment plant at the Charlie Mount in St. Catherine. The agency said the defective plant caused untreated sewage to be emitted into the Old Johns Gully, which flows into the river. NEPA said the NWC has since corrected the problem, which was due to a power outage at the plant. Arising from this incident, NEPA said it will be serving the NWC with an enforcement notice today, December 27, to outline specific terms to which the entity must comply. Residents of Mount Oliphant in South Manchester are desperately crying out for the completion of road repairs in sections of the community, which is home to the Jamaica Bauxite Company's loading station. Valerie Allen, a businesswoman of Mount Oliphant, told the news she has little hope the roadway will be fixed anytime soon, as the conditions have persisted since she was a little girl. I feel bad about it, because a years now it's still like that. From me small until now, me a old woman. It's like me no have no hope to see it fixed before me even get older. Me have a vehicle, and because the condition is very bad, if me pay for wash the vehicle, I pay like $1,200 or $1,500 for wash the vehicle. Now I am ready to go to Negril tomorrow, and it is in the same condition as before, like I never washed it, because of the road condition, and parts again to buy. It's like me can't reach nowhere sake of the road. Me stress out sometime because of the road condition, Allen said. If the road fix, the community can uplift, man. Taxi not even come here so regular because of the road. Residents have to pay all $1,500 sometime, because they have to think about it, say they could get a load to go back to Mandeville, and sometimes people have to walk because the condition is very bad. When them go do shopping, sometimes they don't have any money to pay, so they have to walk with all that load, she added. As part of the conditions to Jamaica commencing operations in Mount Oliphant, all roads in the community were to have been fixed. However, roadways were to have been fixed from Asia to Mansfield, as well as the lower section of the Mount Oliphant community, but a larger portion remains untouched. Hugh Hardin, a retired farm worker from the community, he is calling for the Member of Parliament, Robert Chin. Something has to happen, man. We can't live our life like this, Hardin said. Joan Foster, a community member who was born in the 1960s, said the road has been in a terrible state since she was a little girl. It has been like this for years because I born come see it like this. Everybody is affected. The children can't walk comfortably to school. Taxis do not want to come to the community because of the road, she told the news. However, Cyrus, a 20-year-old construction worker, expressed the optimism that the roadway will eventually be fixed by the relevant authorities. "Me not think round here so go so forever. I just time do things in a man. The road round here bad, man. Round here no good. It in a bad condition, man. It want fix up in Monty, some parts of Windsor, and the road to go farm there so," he said.